and then hit Control Backspace, Alt and what I've gone and done is cut out some frames of the roof from St. James Stadium. I'm going to put it very, very low on a blending mode, probably on like soft light or something. And then for that, what we'll do is we'll just turn our opacity back up so we can see what's going on. We want it very, very faint. And what we'll do is we'll angle it. And then we'll get our soft brush tool. And then we'll just paint out the bottom. And anything that doesn't... What we'll do is just paint out the bottom like I'm doing. And just anything that looks out of the ordinary. Just so it gives a bit more depth to the current background that we've got. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the text in. So we'll come to the very top, and with the font Dharma Gothic C, we're going to type in Newcastle United. Actually no, sorry, Tusker Grotesque. 3,700 bold, Newcastle. And then we'll make this a little smaller. And what we'll do is we'll just play around with how our stadium is placed in the background. So if we have to make it a little bigger or transform it, then we're going to have to do that just so we can fit in this text. And we can add a little bit of outer glow behind this just for some shadow. So we'll increase the size and decrease the opacity. Like so. And then we'll duplicate it, type in verse, flip it horizontally and flip it vertically, make the text a lot smaller, like very, very small, keep it in line, and then type in Arsenal. Make sure it's spelled right, not spelled incorrectly. Like so, and we'll move these a little closer together, make them a little smaller, and I actually am going to change this back to Dharma Gothic C, and we'll chuck this on bold, Dharma Gothic E, and we'll chuck it on extra bold. Actually no, we're going to keep it on what we had. I can't remember what I was playing around with before, but that's alright. What I'll do is I'll group these together, and then I'll make sure they're in line like so. And then we'll group all these together, and then we're going to make sure they are middled. And again, I'm just going to play around with our background, just so the text stands out a little more. But we still have the stadium-like structure in the background. Might flip it, that might work. Flip it horizontally, so we're still keeping majority of it in, like so. And then again, we'll come back to our top layer, and we're just going to play around with some of the colors that we're getting, and we'll come back down to here, and we will fix up what we've done with our adjustments, which is this fan layer. And I'm going to come to our adjustment layers, and we're just going to black and white it so no colors is coming through. I'm going to move the text up slightly, and I might even just fix up that outer glow that we've got going, maybe just double the opacity to around 45. Same with this Arsenal one, put it all on 45. So then for my next few steps, I'm going to come to the very bottom behind all of our players. I'm going to keep our opacity on around 15%, and we're just going to put in some light behind them, like so. And then we will turn our flow back up to around 100%, and just draw in some highlights, like so on all the players, just accentuating the light that's already there. I'm going to lock this top right layer that we've got going on so we can easily click onto our players. There we go. And we'll come to our camera raw filter. What I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to increase the exposure by 0.15. Our texture is going to go all the way up. And then we're going to come into detail, increase our sharpening, and then come into our color mix